What's up, full-time family? Don't have a lot of time today. I see my boy Spear Jab already in the building. What's going on, Spear Jab? Not much, just gonna get this show started. We're gonna start off with the song. We're not gonna do the normal 5-minute countdown because I've only got about 30 to 45 minutes to work with today. We've got a few things to talk about. So I'm also in the process of trying to upload the very last betting on the fights with fake money episode. I'm going to be doing that probably during the show on the little laptop I got on the side of me. So when we, toward the end of the show, as soon as that gets uploaded, I'm going to be trying to do that too because I got to upload it at the end of the show. So in this bitch, I see my motherfucking boy. Actually, I got to go over because that's too small for me to read right here. I got to go to the actual chat. Trollbuster in the building. All right, Trollbuster, what up? So yeah, I'm not going to be able to go to the chat much because I got to get to work soon and we got quite a few things to talk about. So let's just get straight into the MMA news. Of course, last night we had the Fight Companion, real fun time watching PFL 6. Kayla Harrison fought Jozette Cotton. Then in the main event, we had Ray Cooper taking on Pavel Kush, got that first round knockout. That was big time. And shout out to JW. He got his black belt like he said he was going to, so shout out to him as well. Good work, bro, says my motherfucking boy D Brown. What's going on, brother? Thank you. So yeah, let's get started though. Jon Jones tested by USADA for the first time this year. Jon Jones back in the USADA testing pool. Not only is he back in the testing pool, but he's posted a video and talking about some one shot, one kill type shit. I think I got the video for you guys. We're gonna play. He's looking like a heavyweight. He might be coming back to heavyweight. I don't know when he's gonna be cleared, but you know what I'm saying? He's back in the testing pool. You can see on this list right here. He has officially been tested one time. I don't know if he was like out of the testing pool while he was suspended, but this was his first test in 2018. So he's somewhere down here tested one time. Let's see if we can find his name on this list. This is notable names, Jon Jones. I don't know where he's at. Maybe he's a little lower on the list, but it says full list of UFC fighters tested in the last 7 days reported by USADA. Most notable, Jon Jones, one sample after 9-month absence from being tested. So he's it's being reported he's taken his first test of 2018. And so with that being said, we're still looking for a main event for Madison Square Garden. This doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be Jon Jones because we're still waiting to see what happens with his suspension. But, I mean, there's another possible fight that we need a big fight. You know what I'm saying? Jon Jones versus DC would be huge. I'm not going to lie. I would love to see the third fight. Even though Jon Jones won the first two, DC moved up to heavyweight, became the champ. If they fought again before the Brock Lesnar fight, the Brock Lesnar fight would be on the line. Not only would Jon Jones be fighting for the heavyweight title, if he won, he would probably get that Brock Lesnar fight as well. So that's something that would be on the line. It would just make the fight that much more, you know what I'm saying, crazy. So I don't know if he'll be able to come back by Madison Square Garden, but either way, one of the other possibilities is potentially TJ Dillashaw versus Henry Cejudo, champ versus champ fight at Madison Square Garden. They've been facing off on Extra TV. They did it on TMZ, so that's a fight that looks like it might be underway as well. So, but with that being said, I think there was a video. I can't play the one. There was one. Let me see if this is it. Here it is. Yeah, this one don't have the volume, but here's Jon Jones looking like a beast, looking like a fucking heavyweight. My niece is at the bottom of the stairs. And he said under one shot, one kill. He's coming to knock DC out at heavyweight. Ooh, that's what he's coming for. I'm telling you, that's what it's looking like. But yeah, man, then he posted this on Twitter as well. Said every part of the journey matters. Triumphs and setbacks all combine to make the climb what it's supposed to be. My feet are dug in and I have a clear motivation as to what I'm going after and why. I promise you've never seen anything like what's coming. # comeback season. So, hey, man, we'll see. We'll see if Jon Jones can come back sooner rather than later. Not going to lie, I know we are all waiting for it. As soon as he comes back, we're all going to be watching the fight, regardless of what you think about it. Can't wait for Jon Jones to come back, man. And if it was against DC at heavyweight, I'm not going to lie, I'd be into it. But Jon Jones has probably got multiple options, you know what I'm saying? He might come back at light heavyweight. Nah, he's looking like a heavyweight. Fuck that. We're coming back to heavyweight. But we have to see what happens in any sort of USADA hearing, though. He's probably got one coming. Hopefully we hear some good news for Jon Jones. I've been, there's, like, even the USADA people did say, like, the Jon Jones testing results didn't make much sense. Like, it didn't suggest intentional use. For him to get flagged on one test and not the test afterward, they said it didn't seem like it was intentional use. So maybe he will get cleared of this. You know what I'm saying? Anderson Silva was recently cleared. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I see somebody talking about Kayla Harrison in the chat. That is actually our next topic. But yeah, man, John Jones could be coming up back soon. He's looking great, looking like a heavyweight. But yeah, so and you know, I like what John Jones had to say here, because kind of applies to us, you know what I'm saying? The full-time family right now. Every part of the journey matters. Triumphs, we were looking great when we first started. Now we're going through this shadow ban shit, so that's a little bit of a setback, but hopefully it gets lifted. Major comeback. We'll see what happens, you know what I'm saying? So that applies to the full-time family. We'll see if John Bones can make it happen. But moving on, we got Kayla Harrison. She improves to 2-0 with a TKO over Jozette Cotton in that third round. She was trying to get that arm bar, but Jozette Cotton was strong herself. You know what I'm saying? A legit lightweight female fighter. We don't really ever hear much about the lightweight division, but Jozette Cotton can't make 145 pounds. She said, if you even listen to her interview with Coach Shelton Harrison, she said, yeah, I couldn't make featherweight. That's why she didn't think she was going to get signed to the Tough Show. But, you know, they fought at lightweight. Kayla Harrison came in even looking big, and this was at lightweight. But she looked great in this fight. People was like, oh, but, you know, Ronda Rousey couldn't strike. Kayla Harrison's about to get knocked the fuck out. Oh, she ain't going to be able to strike. She came in there, and she was moving her head, I think, just to prove a point. She was moving her head. She was fucking landing leg kicks. She was low-key outstriking Jozette Cotton in the beginning of the first round. She made it a point, I think, to stand and show her standing. She even threw a head kick in there. Kayla Harrison looked amazing in her second fight, taking on Jozette Cotton. And she got the fight to the ground, I believe, in all 3 rounds. And when she got it there, she kept it there. She wasn't able to get the submission, but she got a TKO, still got the finish in the 3rd round. So Kayla Harrison looked great in that performance versus Jozette Cotton last night. And she even showed some promise in her striking for the people that might have thought she wasn't going to be able to. Like I've said in the past, she's training with the American Top Team, not Edmond. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different. She's training with not just the best, some of the best coaches in the world, but some of the best fighters in the world. You know, champions. She's training with UFC champions over there. And not only was she Ronda Rousey, you know, people compare her to Ronda Rousey a lot because of the judo, but she took it a step further. She went gold medal, and she did it twice. So Kayla Harrison has a lot of potential, and we definitely saw that last night. Jozette Cotton was 8-1. A lot of people were like, when she fought her first fight, she fought Brittany Elkin. She was 3-1, and I was saying, that's her first pro fight. What do you want her to do? Fight somebody that's 10-0 in her first pro fight? Nobody does that. We didn't watch Conor McGregor's first pro fight. We didn't watch Ronda Rousey's first pro fight. The pressure wasn't on them in their first pro fight. So yeah, she fought a girl that was still 3-4 though. It's not like she fought someone in their pro debut. A lot of fighters fight guys that are 0-0, getting their record up. She didn't even fight somebody that was in their pro debut. She fought an experienced fighter, Brittany Elkins, who was 3-1 or 3-4. And she beat her in the first round. And then now she fought Jozette Cotton, who was 8-1. Great record in her second pro fight. She was 1-0 coming into a fight with the chick that was 8-1. And she dominated. So a big night for Kayla Harrison, man. And especially for the Kayla Harris simps like me. I'm just fucking around. But yeah, man, great performance by Kayla Harrison. I was glad that we were watching that on the Fight Companion. So if you were here last night, appreciate that as well. She's just starting and doing good. I see someone says in the chat, I don't got the name because it's kind of slow, but I'll pull it up real quick. Like I said, I don't got much time to get to the chat today, guys. I got to make this short because I got to get to work soon. Can't be late. You know, I was already pushing it. I had a substitute for me yesterday. We did it in the past, but for some reason now they were like, I don't know, man. Maybe we shouldn't do that. Like, all right, dude, whatever. So, got to see what they're talking about at work. Don't want to be late, though. So, that being said, we will move on. I see MMA Addict in the building. MMA Prediction Guru. What's going on, everybody? Webbs, PK Vidge, Fat Ninja Flip, Chris Crooks. What's going on? Stamina MC in the building. My notifications are still racist, I see. That's motherfucking the shadow ban, I think. I think that's got a lot to do with our fucking shadow ban, which is bullshit. But it is what it is. Like I said, hopefully it'll get lifted. I'm going to upload our very last betting on the fights with fake money. I'll see if that has something to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Because that... Maybe, yeah, I'm just going to put that on Patreon, and hopefully that'll be part of getting our shadow ban lifted. I'm not sure if it has anything to do with it, but we got to try some shit. Chris Crook says shadow ban. Yeah, man, check out my video. I just posted it right before this live stream, and it was the live test to prove we're shadow banned. And when we were live last night doing the PFL live stream, like, I loaded up a different window, and I was searching for our stream and we couldn't find it, like if you're looking for PFL. So it's just part of it. But yeah, I explained it a little in that video. I don't got time to go into it in this stream. But yeah, we got a little bit of, that's part of why the notifications are shitty. That's part of why our fight night videos are limited now, and also why we've started growing a lot less, and why I don't know if it's got anything to do with our GoFundMe being flagged, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So yeah, so if you check out that video, you'll know a little more. Banned without your knowledge, yeah. So to where, like, and if you're subscribed to the channel, you wouldn't know because you still see my videos because you're subscribed. But new people that would be subscribing to the channel, new people that aren't subscribed, that have never been here before, they have a hard time finding the channel on the recommended, or whether it's suggested, or even on fight night. You know what I'm saying? When fight companions are going on, and a lot of time when you're looking for a stream on YouTube and it'll pop up our stream instead, we're not popping up there either. So pretty bullshit. But yeah, I saw a little head movement out of Kayla. Says John Doe, that's more than all of Ronda's career. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Don't only compare her to the bad in Ronda. You gotta compare. If you're gonna compare her to the bad in Ronda, you gotta say, well, at least Ronda was able to become the champion and submit all these girls in the first round. 7 fights, defended her belt in a row. So you at least gotta give Kayla Harrison that. Or you just gonna say, oh no, she's just gonna get knocked out like Ronda. Like what? No. And like I said, she took it a step further. So big win for Kayla Harrison and all of the Kayla Harris simps last night. Let's get it. But yeah, we got a breaking news last night. It was reported, it was targeted, in the works. Today it seems to be official. Ariel Helwani has tweeted that Curtis Blaydes vs. Francis Ngannou is scheduled to be the main event for 11/24 card in Beijing, China. Per sources, that fight has been agreed to but not yet signed. So Curtis Blaydes vs. Ngannou 2. This is a rematch. First, I believe Curtis Blaydes' first fight in the UFC, he fought Ngannou and lost the fight. But now he's came back and, you know, made his claim for a #1 contender. He showed his dominant wrestling. As far as cardio, you got to give that edge to Curtis Blaydes. And then, of course, you got Francis Ngannou, who has been somewhat disappointing in his last 2 fights. So that's unfortunate. But with that being said, this is a huge opportunity for Curtis Blaydes. Now, also, you got to think about it. I mean, you know, I don't want to be the Debbie Downer here, but since I'm shadow banned, I kind of feel like it. No, I'm just fucking around. But, you know, Curtis Blaydes has more of a wrestling style. This could be a fight where he utilizes that. I mean, maybe he can get the finish like he did on Overeem once the fight's on the mat. You know, whenever he got that TKO over Overeem in the 3rd round. But at the same time, this is a fight that, you know, if Curtis Blaydes isn't able to get the finish on the ground, it might be, you know what I'm saying, a little bit of not the most exciting fight, to put it kindly. And also Francis Ngannou, of course, if he doesn't get him out of there in the 1st round, it could be tough. But I do think Curtis Blaydes, if he gets the fight to the floor, would be able to get the finish in this fight in the rematch. But like I said, Francis did win the 1st fight, so who knows? And Francis is always dangerous in the 1st round, unless he's being tentative, like in that Derek Lewis fight. So we'll see what happens. But I also think it's a pretty fun main event for China, you know what I'm saying? For Beijing. Gazila. I'm just kidding. Not being racist. Just having fun. With that being said, though, yeah, Curtis Blaydes versus Ngannou looks like it might be the main event for Beijing. That's going to be a fun fight night. We got Donny Aaron warrant still pending. Andrea Lee says alleged incident won't affect her UFC career. So finally hearing from Andrea Lee, it says, and also the Shreveport police still want to talk to Aaron. It says, we always encourage people to turn themselves in if they know they're wanted in connection with the crime. I don't know this gentleman. I don't know his character, and I don't know if he's the type of person who would do that. But I think there's certainly enough information out there that we're looking for him. And Andrea Lee says, I'm not going to talk about it right now. I'm trying to move forward with things for my family. It's not going to affect my UFC career. So she's trying to keep this out of, you know, make it not affect her career, keep that shit in private, handle that shit, and not bring that into her career. You know, she don't want to be asked about that shit at every media day. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, just a brief update on that. A little incident right here. Diego Sanchez checking the gym bully's oil after the new guy sparred too hard with Michelle Waterson. Mike Perry revealed this, I believe, on his Instagram. But check this out from Mike Perry. It's pretty funny.
So we was in the gym the other day, and this dude was going pretty hard with Michelle Waterson. Not that she can't handle herself. She should have fucking sidekicked him in the face. But when their round was over, I said, hey, Diego Sanchez, this dude's being a fucking asshole sparring partner, bro. Oh, Diego said, oh, yeah? Okay. Bust this dude's eye real quick, right away. Dude throws a jumping sidekick at Diego's face. Diego takes him down. humps his back, tries to grab his neck, arm bars the shit out of him. Dude gets up, he's talking shit. Diego, I respect you, bro. Blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. He's talking to Frank, talking to me. Yo, you know, I don't know. I'm just trying to learn. Dude's sticking his fingers in my butt. Moral of the story. Just because you think you bigger, better, and stronger than somebody, remember that there's more people on the mats that might be bigger, better, and stronger than you, and they might stick their fingers in your butt. So watch out.
He says, so watch out.
Gucci, Louis, Fendi, Prada. Basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Just playing my belt, dope as fuck, cuh.
My motherfucking dog. Yo, I know a lot of people don't like my period, but that's my motherfucking dog. Connor Lodge, what up in the building? All right, guys, we got to keep it moving. We got to get to work. Luke Rockhold says, without a contract, no deal signed to fight Chris Weidman in UFC 230. So this is another fight we were looking forward to at Middleweight Square Garden, but it's not signed yet. You know, there's a lot of fights being talked about for Middleweight Square Garden, Madison Square Garden, UFC 230, Paulo Costa versus Chris Weidman. That fight's been sort of announced, but we still haven't heard if, or not Chris Weidman, Paulo Costa versus Yoel Romero. We haven't heard if Yoel has signed the contract, been real quiet on his side. And if you listen to Ariel Helwani's show, he seems to believe that, you know, the fight is not made. Even though it seemed like it was announced, it might be announced just to put pressure on Romero or something. But yeah, there's a little bit of skepticism as if that fight's going to happen, but it's definitely one that a lot of fans are looking forward to if it does. Weidman versus Rockhold 2, another fight that was being talked about for Madison Square Garden, but Luke Rockhold, a little bit of, seems like he's not ready to sign the contract yet either. But the fights that are there, Adesanya versus Brunson, I believe we've got is Jacare still fighting on that card? Yeah, versus David Branch, and potentially, Jacare versus David Branch, Derek Brunson versus Israel Adesanya, and maybe one more. I know Thiago Santos is staying ready if anybody does fall out, though. So we'll see what happens. This is what Luke Rockhold had to say. No pen to paper. Of course, it's intriguing. Madison Square Garden versus Weidman. I'm number 2. He's number 3 in the UFC rankings. It's a pretty clear-cut fight. You go out there and do the job at Madison Square Garden. It's fun. It's sexy. He said, you got to show me the right contract. I don't need to do anything. Business is good. We're doing business everywhere. I got a lot of things going on. When you show me the right contract, I'll sign the right contract. Luke Rockhold on his Iaquinta shit low-key. Like, when you don't need the UFC for money, that's when guys are holding out for contracts, it seems. Not holding out for contracts all the time, but that's when they're not just going to take any fight. They're going to make sure they get the right deal. Iaquinta's got real estate. Luke Rockhold's got modeling and whatever else he's got going on. He's making money outside the UFC. I just heard motherfucking Sean O'Malley said on the Ariel Helwani MMA show he's making more money in his, partnerships, I believe, with like Optic Gaming and some of his other sponsors than he is in the UFC. So, with that Twitch shit, especially if you have a little bit of star to your name, you can make a lot of money. I mean, that dude Ninja's making over, I believe $1 million a month just off Twitch, 500,000. He's got Red Bull sponsors, all type of sponsors. He's on another team, so he's making a whole lot of money with that game and shit. So Sean O'Malley, he said he's already making more money with his outside the UFC than inside the UFC. And he's another guy you always hear, like, we're talking about renegotiating his contract. He said he makes more outside the UFC than his fight contract. You know what I'm saying? And that's definitely his hardest job. So with that being said, some of these guys who have these opportunities, they feel like they're in a little bit of a position to negotiate. And if the deal's not done right, Luke Rockhold's cool not fighting because he'll just go make some money outside not fighting. So the UFC, if they want this fight to happen, they're going to have to show Luke the money, it seems. We'll see if it gets made. Moving on, though, we've got Luke Rockhold also saying Brock Lesnar and John Jones should be suspended for a long time. And some people would agree they failed their drug test, but the UFC, it seems like they're in a position where they're trying to make the most money possible to potentially to pay back that loan that they took out to buy the UFC. And so we've heard about Brock Lesnar's potential return. People are, what's the word? People are looking for that John Jones return, even though Chael Sonnen uses a good word. It's like we all expect John Jones to return, even though he's Oh, and optimism. We all have like this optimism that Jon Jones is going to return, even though he's suspended. It's like, well, he's suspended. Why do we all think he's going to come back? And it's because I think it's because we all know that Jon Jones is a big name. It's a big fight. The UFC would love to have him back, and so if he can, he's gonna, if there's any way that he can get through this USADA situation, like if Brock Lesnar's coming back, maybe Jon Jones can come back. I don't know why. He did fail his drug test, but we all still believe he might come back. But this is what Luke Rockhold had to say on it. He said nothing's official. He says, I like the light heavyweight division. I think it's for the taking, and he's talking about his potential move to the light heavyweight division. It's just DC and the complications with him. He's tossing and turning. I just want the thing to really solidify himself and iron it out. I want a matchup. I want a sexy matchup. I want to get. He's using sexy a lot. Luke Rockhold feeling sexy out here, bringing sexy back. He says, I want to get up there and do some damage and make it mean something. I don't want to fight the best guy in the division in Alexander Gustafsson and then have to backtrack if DC doesn't fight and then have to fight someone else lower for a potential title shot. What's the fucking point? He continued to say, this sport is starting to get a little jokey. I'm just sick of watching Brock Lesnar, watching John, and you get down to real business. These guys should be suspended for a long time. People are learning how to cheat the system. USADA is owned by the UFC. He shrugged. He says, I like fighting clean. I've always fought clean. I want to fight clean people. I want to fight fair. I want to fight on a fair playing field. USADA's got to step their game up and be what they were in the beginning. In the beginning, it seemed like they were doing their job. Now it seems like they're owned. It's sad to see, but hopefully it can correct itself and we can get on the right path. I'm sick of it all, but I love it all at the same time. So, that being said, Luke Rockhold speaking also on some of these fighters that might be coming back that have failed their drug test. And, of course, he isn't fucking with Jon Jones, even though we all know about the jalapeno joints, you know what I'm saying? He might have been responsible for Jon Jones, but that's another topic for another day. But, of course, he's one of Daniel Cormier's good friends, so he's team, fuck the other side on Jon Jones. And, of course, even Brock Lesnar's failed a drug test. So, Quincy Pinola says, did Jon Jones come in before USADA? Yeah, his first fight with Daniel Cormier actually happened like 4 months before USADA started. So, for whatever that's worth. But yeah, he was fighting before USADA. Moving on though, we don't got much time. Iaquinta calls for a fight with Tony Ferguson. Ferguson fires back with a real estate burn. I believe we got like one more topic after this. And yeah, and then we'll see what's going on in the chat before we get out of here. But Ariel Helwani tweeted this, just spoke to Iaquinta. He said he's finally healthier than he's been in years. He wants to fight in the recently medically cleared Tony Ferguson next. Any card in November. Madison Square Garden, China, tough finale. Can't stand that guy, he said. Iaquinta looks like he's ready to fight. He was supposed to be fighting Justin Gaethje at UFC Lincoln, but he was pulled out of that fight. I'm not sure if it's an injury, a business thing, but now he's ready to fight Tony Ferguson, maybe looking to capitalize on Tony Ferguson's recent leg injury. He did recover pretty quick, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if Tony Ferguson's next opponent came in there throwing some heavy leg kicks, you know what I'm saying? Just because he came back really quick, 4 months in a day, and pretty nasty injury if you saw it after it happened. But yeah, Tony Ferguson responded, said, trying too hard, kid, like Motown Phenom. You both had your chance and fucked it up. You sell houses, I build and buy them. Take notes. So Tony Ferguson said, like Motown Phenom, you both had your chance. I'm not sure when Iaquinta had a chance to fight Tony Ferguson, but maybe he just meant at the title, since you got to fight Khabib. So Tony Ferguson did recently say fight news coming soon, though. So with that being said, he might be, you know what I'm saying, I don't know who he's going to fight, but when we looked at the rankings, it was really only between Kevin Lee and Anthony Pettis that really stood out. Now, maybe Iaquinta, but he did say fight news coming soon, and also Kevin Lee said he's training for a fight soon at UFC 229. He said someone's getting their ass whooped. He's weighing in, training for that card. I don't know if he's going to be fighting. If he can't get an opponent, maybe he'll just be standing in to potentially replace Conor or Khabib if someone falls out. We'll see what happens. But Tony Ferguson versus Kevin Lee, too. This would be a great time for that fight on that card. You know what I'm saying? Because, the first fight, Tony Ferguson edged it out. But it was a close fight, and it was before he had his injury, and Kevin Lee had staph infection. If they did a rematch now, Kevin Lee wouldn't have staph infection. Tony Ferguson's coming off of an injury, so this fight would be a little different, you would think. And Kevin Lee already almost won the first one, so it would be a close-ass fight between Tony Ferguson and Kevin Lee if the rematch were to happen. So I would not be complaining if that fight got made for UFC 229. But Tony Ferguson's maybe a little cryptic in here saying Motown Phenom already had his shot. So we'll see what happens. One more topic I think to talk about before we gotta go. This was interesting. Jessica I getting into a Twitter war with Sarge Eubanks. I didn't know who it was when I first saw the headline, but I did see that she ended it by calling her Twitter opponent a cum dumpster. And I said, Omega Law, what's going on? And then I saw it was actually Sarge Eubanks. So we'll just have a little bit of fun and read this Twitter exchange. Sarge Eubanks says everybody wants a title shot in this division at Jessica Evil Eye. That got her attention. She said, ha ha, you're just salty. Everyone's passing you up because you can't make weight. She did make weight in her last fight, though, but Sarge Eubanks responded and said, check the rankings, boo. No one's passing me up. Not salty, just confused how you say you'll fight anybody the UFC gives you for your belt, but I'm the best in the division and not booked. And crickets when they ask you for a fight against me, Jessica I. She said, who the hell is lying to you? Because that never happened or never said. Or ever said. A little mix up there on her typing, it seems. Because that never happened or ever said. Your risk business, go, maybe it's because the Twitter, you know what I'm saying, she had to crunch her shit up. Your risk business, go through a whole camp and not make weight. You couldn't even do it for a title fight, let alone me. So she's saying it's risky to fight you. Got to go through a whole camp. You might fuck around and not make weight. So maybe that's why she's a little reluctant to fight Sarge. And she says, and call me your boo again and I'll make you my bitch. Mark my words. Holy snaps. Sarge Eubanks says, pick a date then, baby boo-boo honey bitch. Oh shit, we might have Sarge Eubanks versus Jessica I family. Holy crap. She says, okay, my little cum dumpster, let's make it December in Vegas. What the fuck is going on, full-time family? This shit is getting real. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you are watching now. If you're finished biting your bagels, seems like some people at YouTube might be, fans of bagels. Maybe that's why we got shadow banned. They're biting the bagels in the morning, stumbled upon our channel. Like, did he just call me a bagel biting bitch boy? What? Shadow banned. Wow. Maybe that's what happened. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up if you're in here. If you're listening, like I said, this was a short stream, so if you're here now, we covered a few things. You can hit the replay. Of course, it'll be up throughout the day, but I got to get to work sooner rather than later. So on your way out, hit that thumbs up, and it is what it is. I'll see you guys later. Shout out to Chris Houghton, One Way, Playdog Madman, All Pro Lemonton, Connor Lodge, R Pitt, Quincy Pinola, John Doe, everybody that showed up today to the stream. Let the full-time family know what you guys think in the comments, and we will be back. We'll at least be posting some videos tonight. I'm just now posting the betting on the fights with fake money, the very last episode. So, hit that thumbs up. We are out of here. Thanks for coming through. We out.